What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Open Book with Cici. We're here season 5, and this week I got Mitchell James.
Yep.
Sorry.
Okay.
This week I got Mitchell James. Because I didn't write down your name, your last name, so I'm sorry.
No worries, no worries.
Say what's up to the people.
What's going on, everybody?
Hey.
Glad to be here.
So, I see you're from Fresno.
I am from Fresno.
So I want to talk about a little bit about the Fresno game, because not a lot of people come out of Fresno. It's a small little, like, I want to say country town, because it's like...
Well, there's some farm, but it's city.
Yeah.
We got like 800,000 strong. We're doing okay.
But before we get fully started, this is normally the segment where we do the Sips with Cici, but my guest is not great.
Yeah.
Totally fine. You're here for it, so we're gonna take our sips of water.
Sick, yeah.
You know?
Hydration is key. Appreciate you guys.
Which is great, because that last episode I put and I'm drunk last night, so let's talk a little bit about your upbringing.
Yeah, so I'm from Fresno. Fresno's an interesting place. It's crazy. Fresno is like, you got like people with, there's big money in certain places, and then like the block next door, it's like, so it's like completely different. So it's like, you're kind of in like a melting pot of kind of people from all different walks of life, and like people from kind of all different backgrounds and stuff. And so myself, like I grew up in Fresno. Like it was good. It was I mean, there was a motivator, like, no hate on Fresno. I love Fresno. Like, I love the city, but like it was definitely a motivator to like get out of Fresno. I feel like, especially like where I was, just like my situation out there and just like life. So it's like Fresno's definitely a city where like it's a very common thing where people are working to get somewhere. You know what I mean? Trying to go someplace. And so it's I love it though. I love Fresno. Still rep it to this day.
So what got you started rapping?
So I started like rapping, like freestyling stuff when I was like in middle school. I feel like it was a common thing, like like at school, like people would freestyle and things like that. So it was kind of just something I was always around, and something I kind of like picked up and had a knack for early on. My dad was a musician. My dad was a drummer, and so like I already had that like kind of in me, that like desire and dream to be in music. And so basically with hip hop and rap, it was what I was around, and it was kind of what everybody listened to. And then it wasn't until much later where I started taking it seriously and started like releasing music professionally and doing things like that.
So do you feel pressure because you're this white boy coming into the hip hop game?
So I mean, that's fine. So hip hop is I appreciate that question, because hip hop is black culture. Hip hop is black music. So I've been lucky enough and been privileged enough where I'm embraced by my peers to participate in this culture that was so impactful on my life. I would never claim to be a face of hip hop, or like there's sometimes some people do it wrong, and I think what I realized is like, as long as I'm myself, as long as that's the only thing, like as long as I'm real and I'm unequivocally me, there's a place for me in hip hop. If I'm trying to front and do some shit, because there's I've seen a lot in this game where there's a lot of white rappers who talk about some shit that they never, like, I have a certain type of life where I've experienced some things that I wouldn't even necessarily rap about, because I feel like it's perpetuating stereotypes that are negative. They're harmful to hip hop. They're harmful to black culture. And so it's like, I think there's a definite problem in the game when there's a lot of kids banging the burbs, and then they talk about some shit that they don't even know about, and then white America, middle America, who has no proximity around black culture, that it perpetuates that negative stereotype that they have. So I think I have a responsibility, if I'm going to participate in this game, to move with respect, to be real, and also to have respect and appreciation of where this comes from, the inception of it. Like I said, because this is a part of a very integral, important piece of black culture. So I would never want to do anything that would be harmful to the overall kind of image of hip hop, because a lot of people get it wrong. A lot of people who don't have a true understanding of what this is. I mean, the inception of hip hop was for young black males who people, because America is not a place that's built that's going to be accepting. So to give them confidence and do things, and for me, I'm lucky enough to I've had benefits in my life that this culture has benefited my life and really contributed to it. So I feel yeah, it's just I have a responsibility to move with respect and appreciate and be grateful for being accepted into this culture.
Okay, I like that answer. Okay, respect to the culture. Because you know that's crazy because that's why people love Asher Roth so much. Or that's why people love Eminem so much. Or I hate to use Eminem as an example of what you're saying because a lot of people thought he was perpetuating Dr. Dre or whatever, but I feel that way with like even Machine Gun Kelly. A little bit. Asher Roth for sure. That's the vibe. That answer is what I was getting. So let's describe your style of music.
Yeah.
I listen to a few different things. I have a favorite song.
Okay. I have a guess of what it is. No, it's a PB&J.
Okay. So okay. How did you do it already?
I already know. There's only so many. I mean, it's my most played song, so it's a.
I said, oh, this is I got it. Okay. So describe your style of music to us.
Yeah. So I think I've gone through a bunch of different. Like a bunch of different phases in my career where. I don't know. I don't want to put a box on myself. So like, I'll make anything. I'll make boom bap. I'll rap over a trap beat. I'll do like an acoustic song. I'll sing songs. Like, I've really gotten to a point where I think it took a long time to get there. Where like right now, like I'm in a place where like I make what I want. Like I make what I feel like making in the moment. I don't have to like. I'm like I don't need to bar out or I don't need to like give people this or give people that. Like it's like, and I think it takes a process. I've been doing this for a long time now. Where I think when I started out. I made a certain type of music. I made a lot of boom bap, a lot of kind of like old school type stuff. And then once I kind of transitioned to another point in my career, I like was making a little bit more hard, like grittier type stuff. And then kind of as I've gone, it's like I think that's part of, you know, as an artist, your trajectory as an artist, you find what your space is, you find what your lane is, and you find what you like the most. And for me, I realized like my lane is just whatever I'm feeling at a given point in time. I don't ever like set out to, because I mean there's two ways you can do this. You could craft it and like find a lane and focusing on that lane and zone in that lane, and you're much more likely to have success if you do that because you're perfecting a certain sound or a certain style. Or you can just make kind of like bounce all over the place, and I feel like when I bounce all over the place, it makes me better when I get back to that lane that I know I'm most comfortable in, or that I know that people kind of dig the most. Because like if I rap over a trap beat, whatever, I have to like go out of a different side of my brain, or I have to like think outside the box of what I'm comfortable to, and then that will contribute to, in the end, what I end up making then. So like, yeah, I mean, right now, I mean, I would say overall, just like my style and like the way my music is like I want to be inspirational. Like I want it to be stuff that makes people feel confident about themselves, make people feel like you can go after whatever you want to go after, you can chase your dreams, and I'm trying to translate that into sound. So it's like when people listen to it, I want them to feel like, fuck, I can go do whatever the fuck I want. You know what I mean? Like I like, and that's like with the message, what I put behind it. But yeah, I mean, I guess I do, you know, boom bap. I do like a lot of like, but my sound and style that's what I'm trying to convey. I'm trying to convey like a feeling. Like I want people to feel uplifted and feel positive about themselves and what they're capable of doing when they listen to my music.
So you're not just a rapper though. You do interviews.
Yeah.
How did you get into that?
Yeah, so shout out to Payday LA. Payday LA is a sick platform. El Prez started it. El Prez is, shout out to El Prez, he's the man. And so when I first came to LA, I did a Payday LA show and then just linked with Prez, and he needed people on the team, and so I started out promoting with them, and then it just kind of came about organically. Like we had somebody doing interviews and they stopped doing it, and so we needed somebody to do interviews, and I have equipment. You know, I've been rapping for years, so I have camera, I have a Zoom recorder, I have all these things, and I was like, fuck it, I'll do the interviews. So that's kind of how it came about, and I like it. It's fun. It's like a different, you know. I mean, first and foremost, I'm an artist, so like that's my priority in every single thing I do. Right. But it's cool to kind of do other things because I mean, everything. It's good network. You know, it's good to network. You know, I mean, all these different artists who like I normally wouldn't meet. So, but I like it. I dig it. I like hearing people's perception on why they do. Because I love rap shit. I love hip hop. Like I love the culture. So anytime I can be around anything that's, even if it's not my show, or even if it's not like necessarily something pertaining to me directly being an artist, like I just love being around rap shit. So so if I can be around as much rap shit as possible, that's kind of my goal on a day-to-day basis. So doing the interviews, that's just another platform that, you you don't have rap shit.
Yeah.
So.
Do you have a favorite performer so far from Baby Element? Or a favorite interview?
Favorite performer. I fuck with all of them. So there's no favorites, no bias.
But
there's an artist named Satire who I think everybody's gonna hear a lot from pretty soon.
Okay.
He's dope, man. His live show was sick.
Yeah.
The interview was hella fun. They had a good vibe. They're all he runs with Left Brain out of Odd Future, so it was all his whole squad. And yeah, they're just a fun group of people, and they brought a lot of energy to the performance. So yeah, shout out to Satire. He's dope.
Shout out to Satire. All right, so where's been your favorite place to perform so far? Because you go to Denver.
Yeah,
a lot.
Yeah.
Shout out to Denver. I want to retire there.
Yeah, shout out to Denver.
Are you a Broncos fan?
No. I'm a New York Giants fan, which is weird. Being from California.
It's okay. I feel like my past life, I was born in New York. So I love New York. Everything about it.
My favorite venue, I would say like in LA or just everywhere?
Just anywhere.
Yeah. Okay, there's a place called the Aggie Theater, which I had my first headlining show.
Okay.
In Fort Collins, Colorado. Shout out to Aggie Theater. And just because it was I just had so many experiences there. That was kind of like where I first started getting a buzz, getting momentum, and playing bigger shows. It's a decent size venue. It's like 700 cap.
Yeah.
And we put a lot of our foundation in that venue and doing shows there. So it just brings back good vibes, good memories. Like it was a great place. That's kind of when all this thing started taking off. It's just a good memory. It's a good place. It's a dope venue. Yeah. Great staff. Everybody there fucks with us. So Maggie Theater.
Okay. All right. So I've seen on your Instagram, stop more people on it, that you're opening for Kyle.
Yeah.
How did that come about?
So my base is like I started like kind of like getting a buzz or starting like my roots are in Colorado when I first started because I was in the Navy before, and so when I got out of the Navy I moved to Colorado to go finish college, and that's where I really started being able to like have my feet on the ground. It's hard to pursue a career in music when you're in the Navy and they can say where the fuck they want and drop their hat. So that's where like the roots of that started. So I have a decent amount of people who fuck me from me in Colorado. And so so I have people out there who support me, and that was one of the shows coming up, and through their booking, they had basically just the opportunity came up, and I was like, that's a great excuse to go back to Colorado.
Right.
Yeah.
If anything. Yeah. Okay, so shout out to Kyle because I love Kyle.
Yeah, Kyle's
my kids love Kyle too, so it's crazy. Let's see. All right, so with you being in this game and with you working with all these artists that you have worked with, who has been your favorite person to collab with? No favorites, but who's your favorite?
I mean, my roommate, my brother, one of my best friends, Angelo, who's like me and him he's been my partner in the shit for a long time. So me and him just see the world the same way. We see this game the same way. So it's like it's great to have somebody like that to be somebody you can lean on and like. Yeah, we've done a lot. We made a lot of music. We made a lot of songs. So always him. He's the dude. He's my like. I've collabed with a lot of people. A lot of people in different things. But like rappers, artists who I've collabed with. That's my dude.
So, who are your top 3 favorite artists right now?
Oh, right now, like who I'm
It can be local. It can be in the game.
Yeah, for sure. I guess I mean, so Mac Miller is like one of my, like for sure. I always listen to Mac, always in rotation, big inspiration. I listen to a lot of Nip because I feel like Nipsey had a lot to say, and like you can learn a lot from just the game in general. Like you can learn, kind of a lot about just life, like buying assets and fucking, you know what I mean? Like there's so much shit if you really listen to Nip that's like so much game that he's telling. So definitely Nip, and then I don't know, who am I listening to like right now? I'm trying to think. I listen to a lot of different artists. I always listen to Andre Argentina from the Bay. Okay. Yeah, so like he's been in rotation for fucking 20 years now, but so that's probably my 3 favorite rappers. I've listened to a lot of the same. It's funny, like since I started rapping, I don't listen to a lot of rap. Like I don't listen to a lot of other music. I listen to beats. I'm always like I'm listening to beats and writing shit. So it's like it's always, because it's hard. It's like, I put so much time into the craft where it's like, yeah, I'll listen, like if J. Cole drops an album, I'll listen to a J. Cole album, or if, you know, Kendrick hopefully drops music soon. If Hila drops something, you know, I'll listen to that. But like, there's only a select few artists who I'll actually listen to. But then I'll listen to a lot of local people. Like when I meet somebody, I'll go and play their music because you know it's I think it's that mutual support and kind of, you know, and also like I like to see, you know, when I talk to somebody or when I meet somebody, I want to see like, okay, where are they at musically, or what are they, what kind of vibe are they setting? So so I listen to a lot of local stuff, people I meet on a regular basis. But mostly I'm listening to beats. I'm listening to beat packs the producer send me, and writing. Like if I have the, you know, when I'm putting time into music, I'd rather be doing that and like perfecting my craft than like, you know, listening to, you know, a bunch of different music all the time.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, what was I going to ask you? What is the biggest challenge you've had so far?
Biggest challenge in like the game?
Yeah. Or in life?
Oh, in life. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Life too.
Yeah. I mean, all in life. I mean, I think it's kind of equal to life into this game. It's like, you know, I was kind of on my own and pretty early on. So I think the thing is, you know, doing everything by yourself. I feel like, you know, like, and the bigger and bigger it gets, and the more and more you have to do, you're still a one-man team. You know, I don't have a team of people around me and shit. Right. So it's people don't realize how much time you put into this. Like, because I still got a day job. I work. I have to pay my rent. You know, this music shit, it takes a while for it to pay off. You know, at a decent like we've been to places. I mean, COVID was a big hit where live music is kind of the biggest source of revenue that you can get in this, and with that gone, you're like, fuck, you know what I mean? You get 0.2 fucking pennies a stream on Spotify. Not even that. It's like ridiculous. And so so a lot of I think it's the thing. It's where just people don't realize how much time you put into this shit. Like I wake up fucking 4 or 5 a.m. every day, so I can write before work, so I can squeeze that in. I'll go to my day job, get out of my day job at 6, go grab my shit, and then go do rap shit until 2 a.m. every single day, you know? So I feel like, and that's because, you know, I'm like, my goal is to get to the point where I can just have my head down and like be pushed into whatever SUV that's gonna take me to the next spot, and like that's my life, and I do that, you know? But I guess the biggest challenge in that is and I mean, this shit's expensive too. So it's like, you really have to send it. I'm somebody who really, you know, I'm sending it because I believe in myself and I believe where I'm gonna get in this game. And so it's like having a hustle on top of your hustle, on top of your hustle, you know what I mean? It's all this shit where it's like, it's a grind, and it gets, you know, and you have to maintain yourself. You have to be like, you have to make sure, because I've burnt out multiple times in this, and you know, throughout my career, where it's like I was going, it's just like, you know, human, you know, we're all human, you know what I mean? So if you put so much on yourself, there's going to be a point where you're going to burn out. And I think learning that balance is something artists, it takes a while to learn, where you have to learn to like balance yourself and like sometimes just take a pause, breathe for a fucking second, and then get back into it. So I think just doing a lot of it on your own, you know, it's every artist, most artists, you know, are a one-man team. So I think that's a challenge.
Plus, you know, being in California, $7 a gallon gas, man. You know what I'm saying? All that bullshit.
$2,500 for a fucking 2-bedroom, 1 bath. Man, what? That's
LA. Like, man.
Crazy.
Alright, so let's get into your music.
Yeah.
What you got coming up?
I got a lot coming up. So I got a lot of singles. So like I'm on like the single game right now. Like right now I'm in.
I was gonna ask you that.
Yeah. Right now I'm in a portion of my career where I'm releasing, so it's singles kind of, you get the most traction. You know, with the audiences that you have as kind of independent artists at the stages of my career, it's, you know, you don't have, I could release an album, I could put together an album, but for me it's like, I've always been, this is how I've always seen my career, it's like I'm working towards my debut album. So I'm working towards, so like I've done mixtapes, I've done little projects, I've done like 10-song projects or more than that, like, and I've released a lot of singles. And it's like each one you're trying to like build your audience, because I'm working towards, and I'm getting closer to that point where I can make like, because my whole goal in this is to make, you know, just like an epic, beautiful, amazing piece of music for my debut album. You know, there's so many rappers that I love and respect that their debut is just like, it's just like a fucking classic. You know, like you have like College Dropout with Kanye, or you know, there's all these projects where it's like, that's the goal that I think you're working towards, and I'm working towards that debut album. Because when I do that debut album, I want to have the space, time where I can go to the studio for 12 hours a day for fucking 6 months to a year and make a really like crazy piece of music, you know, because everything I make right now is, you know, like I said, life and grinding and like everything that's like on top of it. So you bust your ass in this point in time to make enough, you know, hit singles where you can get on, and then once you're on, you can make that debut that's like really what you have to say, like really what you know, what's your I guess your magna opus, or whatever the fuck they call it, you know?
Okay. So we're gonna play a game.
All right.
It's called Break Down That Song.
All right.
Okay, so I went through as much as I could on your playlist, on Apple Music and on your page, and I just picked a couple of songs. So just tell us kind of the meaning behind it, or why, you know, all that good stuff.
Yeah.
Let's start off with Mr.
Mr. Yeah. Mr. It's like Mr. So it's not even like a rap song. It's like an acoustic like song. And I think the theme of, I don't usually, when I write a song, I don't usually like think about like, what am I gonna write about. And so and then I listen to it. I'm like, okay, this is what the song's about. Mr. is about like the idea of like if you have to love yourself before you can love somebody else. Okay. So it like a hook says like I'm a little like there's no good way to explain. I'm a little fucked up. The world made me this way. It's like I think we're all a little fucked up, but I think we always have that idea, that insecurity of like you're too fucked up and you need to fix your shit before you can, you know, offer something to somebody else. So that's what I think that's what Mr. is about.
Okay.
Yesterday's a little bit about my life, like growing up. It's a little bit about because it's like the hook in that one is like the picture's worth 1,000 lies. Like it's basically, it's not as everything is what it seems. So sometimes you meet somebody and you take them for face value, but you have no idea kind of what they've been through or what they've experienced. So I was kind of bouncing off that one with that song.
Okay. Mind on the Guap.
Mind on the Guap. That was just a fun song I made with the homies. Yeah, I fucking love that song. So Duke Shooter, Trav the Trigger, we made a song. Those are some of my homies from Colorado. Shout out to them. I fucking love those guys. And we used to just get together. I love getting together with those guys. We always make dope music. Basically, it's just about your day-to-day grind, your day-to-day hustle, like trying to chase money every day, waking up, and like having to get another dollar, basically. Yeah, 100%.
I love it.
Monte Carlo. So the backstory behind like the hook of that, because I say in that the hook is I think you're mistaken, I don't drive a Monte Carlo. First car I ever bought for myself was, I got back from deployment, I bought a 1987 Buick Grand National. It's like a T-body, black car, fucking sick. Missed that car. It got stolen 30 days after I had it. Yeah, but people used to see the car and the Monte Carlo SS looks exactly like it. So people are like, oh, it's a nice Monte Carlo, and I'll be like, I don't drive a Monte
Carlo.
And so like, and that was just like, I barred out a little bit of that song. So that's what the roots of that song.
Okay.
Buckets. Yeah, that song that's a fun one. That's just like, I really like the hook on that one. So it's just about like going after, you know, bringing yourself out of situations and kind of like, but it's a happy-go-lucky song. But it's like the opening of that is like, I broke a curse, I'm convinced. And so it's just like about working your way out of your, you know, generational bullshit and like basically like breaking curses, basically. Like, PB&J,
Can y'all just go back and like, before you watch this part, just go and like listen to the song? I'm telling you, I have that song on repeat.
Hell yeah, fuck yeah.
I love
I appreciate that. Hell yeah.
So eternal.
I love that song. Yeah. So PB&J, same crew, except so the Travis the Trigger, Duke Shooter, and Honey Boy, they're all in this group called Enlightened Artists. And like, I love those dudes. Came up in Colorado with those dudes, and we make a lot of music. And like, we made that song, and that song was just like it's just a fun, like, the whole theme of that song is like keeping a smile on your face and like keeping positivity, even no matter like what bullshit life throws at you. You know, it says like, I keep telling them keep it coming, I just tell them keep it coming. It's like laughing your way through, you know, you laugh so you don't cry type shit. And it's like, and it's just a happy vibe. And like, we made a really dope video with that with Marmo. Shout out to Marmo Films. we made a sick video for it in Joshua Tree. That's like a 70s theme, and it's like really trippy, really like favorite. I love the fucking video, and like so it's life is sweeter than a peanut butter and jelly. It's like it's just a positivity, just good vibes. It's like some shit you can play at a barbecue, and hell yeah, just like keep it happy.
Backyard barbecue type.
Exactly, 100%.
Didn't think about that till now. Alright, Silver Lining.
So Silver Linings, that was my first song I ever like released on like streaming platform. Like when I first started, like when I turned to taking this shit seriously again, it was like I was in the Navy for a long time, and I was still in the Navy when I made that song, and it was just like that song really encompasses like fuck it, I'm going for this. Like it's got positive, like fuck all the bullshit, I'm feeling elated. Like that song, like I love hearing that song to this day. It's still one of my most played songs. It's my first song I released. We filmed a video for it. Zach actually filmed the video in Ireland, and like it was what's it called? It's just I hear myself. It's like the point in my life where I was like, I'm gonna go after what I want. Like I'm gonna by any means, this is my dream, and I'm gonna go after it. So Silver Linings is just another one. Positivity. Just think like, no matter what happens, no matter what happens to you in life, see the silver lining of it and turn it into a positive. So that's kind of what it is.
Normally we step in, but what we're going to do here, we're going to move on to Ask Cici. I don't know if I told you. I normally don't, because I like for y'all to sit here and think a little bit and be surprised. So my guest is to ask me 3 questions.
Oh, okay.
So you cannot ask me, why did I get started, and where I see myself in the next 5, 10, 15 years. I fucking hate those questions. Everybody asks me on season 4. If you want to know, go back and watch one of those episodes, because everybody literally asked me. So I was like, you're not watching the show. So Ask Cici, 3 questions, go.
All right. Who's your least favorite person you ever interviewed?
I gotta say their least favorite.
You gotta have beef with somebody at this point. Like it just sounds.
I don't have no haters.
No haters.
Okay, I do have haters, but it's mostly because like they may have want me, and I'm like, girl, he was just on the show. I have this energy, and people always think I'm flirting, and I'm like, I'm not. I'm just a nice person. But my least favorite, I'm not gonna say the person's name, but it was a girl, and I don't have too many girls, so that's but she was very quiet. It was so hard to talk to her because she's very when I started talking about like certain topics, she would get into it, but then everything else was just kind of quick answer. So I was kind of like, hey girl, slow down. But then off camera, she I'm like, where was this energy? So I'm not gonna say her name, but that is the one.
Alright.
She's my least favorite. I can't stand you for that. Next question.
Alright, if you who is somebody who you see their career and you would be like, I would want to map myself after that. Like I would want the way they have success or the way that their career is played out. Who's somebody in that?
Honestly, okay, so I say this a lot, but Charlamagne the God is my idol. I do actually, I love him and like on Brilliant Idiots too, but Charlamagne is something because it's like, I didn't go to college, I don't fuck about school, no Shakespeare that are in college, but I just don't see, like, when I left high school, that was it. Don't talk to me about textbooks no more, tests, none of that stuff. But I literally, I can see it being like that. So he literally worked from the ground up doing internships and all that stuff, which is what I do because I intern actually at the radio stations out in Victorville.
Nice.
So I worked there when I made Needless. But I can see it kind of being like that. I want to map it out to a point where I'm the Arsenio Hall of this shit. I want to be the Breakfast Club of the West Coast. So that is my goal. I already hashtagging manifest that right now. Because people do like coming in. The more that people are getting to know me, they want to come to the show. So to me, it makes me feel like, oh, okay, like you want me to be your first interview, you know, Breakfast Club type shit. That's what they used to do. They used to be the first interview, but not anymore. So I kind of want to jump in also in the Arsenio Hall type of thing. Because eventually I want to have a whole like setup. You're on like Jay Leno type shit.
Yeah.
So that's
have the desk and everything.
Exactly.
Yeah.
A little name tag and all that stuff.
Couch.
Mugs, let's talk about it at 11 o'clock at night. So that's my goal as far as that goes. But Charlamagne is definitely my spirit animal. And,
nice. Charlamagne is a spirit animal.
Yes.
All right, so one more.
Yes.
Who was your most inspirational teacher growing up?
Wow, teacher.
I know you don't fuck with school, but you gotta have, there had to be one. Yeah.
I love language arts is my favorite subject. I love language arts. I love English. I love writing. I love all that. My brother, fun fact, my brother used to write music. He has like notebooks on notebooks on notebooks of music. So I used to just kind of read them through and write stories with him and stuff like that. But my favorite teacher, Mr. Niss, rest in peace. He passed away a couple of years ago, and that hurt me. He's actually the one that got me into literature. So, you know, you go into your English class and you're like, oh, books and all this stuff. But I got into Shakespeare because of him.
Yeah,
so
nice.
he broke it down. He has books himself that I don't know if they're out anymore, but he actually we shared the same birthday too. Crazy.
Oh wow.
So on our birthday, he bought me the Romeo and Juliet book and said, never give up reading literature or something of that nature. But that made me just realize reading is as fundamental as it is, you know? So I read that thing backwards and forwards. I watched all the Romeo and Juliet movies, Leonardo DiCaprio, shout out. So Mr. Miss is actually the best teacher I've ever fucking had. Because you know you have those teachers that show that they care.
Yeah, facts.
You got some that are there just for the check and some that are like, we want to see you do something. And he's always told me like, even with the stories I write for our papers, he's just like, you're just so creative. And I can see you writing a book. I can see you doing this, you know? So, yeah, shout out to Mr. Niss.
Mr. Niss, shout out. Yeah.
Yes. So yeah, that is the show.
Oh,
Thank
nice.
you so much for saying it usually is a lot longer sometimes.
No worries.
But I appreciate you coming.
Yeah, of course. Appreciate having me.
A little late. Shout out to everybody that tuned in. Show the people how they can work with you, or tell the people how they can work with you, get in contact with you if they want.
Yeah. So at Mitchell Can Rap on Instagram and pretty much everything. And then listen to me on Spotify, Mitchell James on Spotify, Apple Music, Deezer, Tidal, whatever the fuck. They got a million of them now. So
PB&J.
Or Google me and stream PB&J. YouTube. I got a lot of videos. So check me out on YouTube.
Thank you all for coming. Shout out to you in the back.
Shout out to Zach.
Zach in the back. Ooh.
Zach. Bars.
Thank you all for tuning in. We'll catch you next week.
For sure.